I couldn't get to speak to those people. Couldn't get anywhere near them. They're right the way through there still. I didn't want to go shouting and screaming at them. But I'm just going to have a little toddle around this side now and see what I can find. See if there's maybe another way in, or if I can find a nice little patch to sit down and have a coffee and a brew. I'll catch you in a bit. Well, this is round the other side from where I spoke to you last, and just had a chat with the two youngsters that are local. They come up here quite a bit, and they've told me that it is private property. Certainly is. I mean, people wouldn't go to the extent of putting a big fence up like that if it wasn't, obviously, but they reckon the youngsters still climb over there and go and muck about in that wood. Oh man, I so wish I could get in there and just have a little wander around. I could take you right to the little den we made in the tree stump where the tree had blown over, just on a big dip, and it made almost like a little cave. Me and my mate Andy, so proper grammar please, Andy and I, we put a load of dump material over the top, sticks, boughs, made ourselves a little cave in there. It was brilliant. So I'm going to head back and find another little piece of memory lane to show you. It's a shame I can't take you in there and show you around. I think the impression that I've got through today so far is that people are just so intent at just closing everything off these days. They're so intent to keep hold of their property and prevent anybody else from enjoying it in any way. So I'm heading back up that way now, and what I seem to remember as a kid as being, you know, open spaces, actually may not really have been that open at all. Now I'm an adult and I've come back for a little look. You're just so much more conscious of the way that people have just moved in. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things that as a kid you just didn't care for, you know. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for this bit, get back to the car, and I'm going to take you to another little patch of woods. As I can't really say that this one had a name because it was so small, and then you got this big field area, and then that bit up the top. I never really called that one anything, but I'll catch you in a little while. Well, I'll come back up from where I was in that enclosed off wood, just taking a walk now through the field that I've parked next to, and I can tell you right now, this monstrosity was never here when I was a kid. Who on earth allowed that to be put in? Oh dear. Looks like one of those mobile phone type masts. I think that's what it is. Can't be sure, but oh dear. Oh well, never mind. I'm going to carry on now into this patch of woods up here if I can get in. There always was a fence round it, but in either of the corners, so round here somewhere, there was a bit of fencing bent back, and somewhere up round this corner there used to be an entrance in as well. So I'm going go and have a little look, see if I can get in there, and then I'll come back to you. Well, we're in. I managed to find a bit of fence that was open. Oh, that's one big bit of branch that's fallen down there. Just spotted a pheasant running through the field. And a squirrel. Now this is a place where we used to come when we were a bit older as well. I can see somebody's built like a compound or something just through there. Horses field, I think. That's where we used to get in. That's where we used to come in, just down here. There used to be a big tree that went over the fence that we used to sit up. This old tree as well, we used to climb up there sometimes. I'm going to go back round this way. I don't know whether this is supposed to be some kind of pheasant farm or what. People have obviously been in here. I don't know whether I'm trespassing in here or what? I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to keep going very, very quietly. Try and make sure I stay unheard. I'll come back to you in a little while. It's been quite a struggle getting into this bit. I'm just going to stop and have a coffee. We drink. I deliberately didn't prime this today for the simple reason that I wanted it to be drinkable only a couple of hours in. Oh man, that's good. People have quite often laughed at me for having this thing, you know. But I tell you what, if you're only going out for a couple of hours, this is absolutely awesome. You know, it's great having a brew up and lighting a fire and the hobo and all that kind of business, but ain't nothing like having it already anyway. Already in your thermos to go. It seems very open in this woodland compared to what I remember it being. I always seem to remember it being a lot thicker and denser than this. I'm going to keep moving and I'll come back to you in a little while. I've sat around for about half an hour and just seen what's going on. It's very, very quiet. Very peaceful indeed. I'll see you in a little while. Just take a look at this baby. It's like one of them giant redwoods. Whoa! And that goes up for a fair way as well. I used to love these trees as a kid. I remember them being in the woods where we used to go over the golf course. They've got this kind of, well, redwoody type bark, I suppose. You know, this can be great stuff for fire lighting. Very fine. Absolutely lovely tree. I think this is probably my favourite tree of all. I know I'm British and I should love the oak, but that's definitely one of them. Anyway, let's crack on. I can feel rain in the air. I can definitely feel rain in the air. I'm going to keep moving really quietly because I'm not sure. There's tons of red kites up here. I'm going to keep moving really quietly, so I'm going to turn the camera off because I've got a funny feeling I'm probably not alone in these woods. And I'm going to take it real careful and real quiet. Make sure I spot them before they spot me. Alright, I'll catch up with you a little while. While I'm here, and I'm in a very, very quiet spot at the moment, I thought I'd just do a quick pocket dump for you, or just show you what I brought out with me today. It's nothing special, nothing major. Pockets. Got my keys. I've got my Leatherman PS4 squirt. It's on the Maxpedition Keykeeper. They're just hanging in my pocket at the moment because they're quite deep. I've got my normal cotton combats on. As you can see, the rucksack that I've got on is not particularly stealthy, but I wanted to go in a little bit of a combination today that if anybody did come across me on private land, I could kind of make out as if I was a bit lost. You know, I'm just having a nice hike on a Saturday afternoon and so on and so forth. So I didn't look too bushcrafty as if I was kind of camping in the woods type thing. Camera case down in the other little pocket. This pocket I've got just a pack of tissues. I'm wearing my Seiko normal analog watch today. Other pocket down here I've got my EDC Maxpedition pouch. In there I have some bank line, my whistle, pry bar, got the Victorinox Forester, my flashlight and a lighter, and my little spoon for if I can find anywhere to have a bit of a meal. Probably won't today actually, because I'm losing battery power. I need to get a new battery as soon as, but anyway, that's my EDC pouch. And you've seen this before, I've done a review on this. That's the pack that I'm carrying today. I'll just bring down the camera. Hope you can see that alright. So in there I've got my flask with my new Helicon little cup in the bottom, that fits beautifully in there. In this pouch I've got my ouch pouch, the one that goes in there. Got my new little saw. I doubt I'm going to get a chance to test that out today too much and do a review on it because it's just got such little battery left. It's probably not going to allow me to do that, but another time. And then in this pocket at the bottom I have my emergency shelter kit. You've seen a video on that one. Nothing else in there. So down here I've got my Crusader mess tin. I like to use that one every once in a while. My gloves, one cigar in the Pelican 1020 case. Got the Maxpedition clone brew kit, and I've got my survival kit. As I say, it's not a great deal, but it's enough to keep me comfortable for a couple of hours while I'm out doing what I'm doing. I haven't got really anything in this. This side is just my wallets and everything. Just my wallets. Nothing special. and some dog treats, that kind of business, because I use this when I'm taking the dog out as well. So that's it. That's what's in my day pack. Like I say, nothing major, but I've got some food there, I've got some water, I've got the ability to do a cup of tea if I want one, and I've got emergency shelter kit. I might actually put this little saw in the emergency shelter kit rather than my fishing kit. I'll have to see how that goes after the after testing it out. That's it. Stick that back in there, and that's my pack. Oh, I've got my possibles pouch on me. I don't know whether you can see that. If I bend down a bit. Expedition. Let's turn the camera up a bit. Too close. So I've got the Expedition Anemone Possibles pouch. I'll do a quick video on that in a minute. I'm going to shut you off now, and I'm going to carry on my my walk. I'll find another place and I'll do a little video on my Possibles pouch. That's all I'm carrying at the moment for Possibles. I've whittled it right down. Don't need any more than that. It's working out just fine for me. So I'll do a video on that in a minute. Well, peeps, I've literally got about 10 minutes left on the battery. So I kind of refrained from filming me having some lunch. Would have been nice for you to see it, because it was using my new refined hobo stove arrangement, but I think I'm going to do another video on that, a separate video. I'm coming to the end of my my little tour down memory lane, and what you're looking at now is the scout hut that I attended from, what, about 7 years old onwards. So I first joined, actually it was Cubs that I joined first, obviously, and then went into Scouts. And you can see the woodland at the back there. That's what we had to play with as Cubs and Scouts. Now, it's not too difficult to see through the woods, but actually it's probably about 100 metres wide, and then a good couple of 100 metres long. But that was fantastic. As Cubs and Scouts, you know, you'd learn a little bit about the theory of things, starting fires and all that kind of jazz. And we got a real good chance to go and practice it out in those woods. Excellent times. So there you have it. That's the scout hut that I first attended. I don't know whether those people are allotment owners, I think, right next door. Anyway, that's me done for the day, I think. So I'll catch you in the next clip, which is going to be the last couple of minutes of me talking. Alright? Well, there you have it, peeps. On my way home now. Hope you enjoyed that little trip down memory lane with me. So inspired by the video on Meet the Bushcrafter. I've kind of been meaning to take a little drive around and have a look at the old places for a little while now, and I'm really glad I managed to be able to do it. And so what I think I've really learned is how much we're all kind of encroaching on the land that used to be out there for everybody's enjoyment. And I'll tell you what else I've learned. I've learned that I ain't nowhere near as fit now as I was back then. I must have been like an absolute butcher's dog back then. But it's been an absolutely great experience to go around those woods again and have a look around the places. I must admit, as an adult, they they actually seem a lot smaller now than they did back then. And I can't say now that I would actually entertain any of them as being a place where I would go and wild camp or stay out overnight, practice skills, all those sorts of things. For me, they just seem a bit small now. To a lot of people, they probably won't do. To a lot of people, they'll probably seem quite big. But then I spent years wandering around the things. I spent years getting to know them. The patches of woodland that I go to now, I mean, just absolutely dwarfs those that you've seen today by comparison. And they're not that far away from where I live now, which is only about 3-4 miles from where I used to live when I used to visit these places. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been certainly been enjoyable for me. I'll see you in the next video.